Hey guys, it's Brandy. I have got to go pick up my son in 10 minutes, so I don't have time for my normal craziness. So I have all my stuff here and I'm just gonna get started. Okay, so some of you who went to high school with me know I have suffered from severe acne from probably about the age of 12 or 13 until 35. I once told my sister that I had accepted the fact that I would always have zits, and when I got older, they would just retire down to my butt like old folks to Florida. When I started getting wrinkles too, at age 35, I decided I had to do something fast. I really just wanted to have pretty skin for like 5 minutes. You know, get rid of the acne before the wrinkles get real bad and just really feel good about my skin for, I don't know, a year maybe. So anyway, I really have cleared up my skin, believe it or not, and I have not had a severe breakout in, not this bad, in a couple of years. Unfortunately, I did something really silly and decided to switch around my birth control, and now I have this huge hormonal breakout going on all over my face. The good news is it gives me an excuse to show you guys everything I've learned about covering up acne, and I've got a lot of experience. So, I've already washed my face. I've put on some sunscreen, and now I'm going to put on some Glorious Primer. This stuff is amazing. It makes my makeup stay on all day and no touch-ups necessary. I really love it for my eyes. Those little crow's feet around my eyes just disappear with this stuff. But it also makes foundation stay on all day. And I've decided that using this all over and using the BB cream, which is what I was doing this winter, all over is just a little bit too much moisture for my face. So now I've switched over to just using the primer and the Mineral Touch powder, which is actually a lot faster, and it just works for me in the summer because I have a very oily T-zone. So what I'm going to do is put this primer all over right now. And I just used one little squirt of this, and it'll go all over my face. Now, when you have a really bad breakout, if the skin is really dry and you put stuff over it to cover it up, it's just going to end up looking like a big, dried, crusty zit that has a bunch of makeup on it. And that's not what we're going for. We want it to be less obvious. So if you are using the primer and the BB cream like I am, that's going to moisturize the area enough. I'm just putting a little extra primer on those spots to smooth out that dry skin on top. To be continued. Someone's at my door. Yay, that was worth pausing for. I got a Younique package. Okay, to break into that bad boy in a minute. All right, so I've got my primer on. What I used to use is this Physicians Formula green concealer. Let's talk about color correcting for a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. This is very red, as you can see. And so we want to offset that red with the opposite color on the color wheel, which is green. And these green concealers are made for covering up redness, whether you have it from rosacea or acne or whatever. Also, if you have like eczema, you can do the same thing. You can use this. Anything that causes redness, if it also causes dryness, make sure you have a lot of moisture on there. Use this primer. That's going to give you a smooth canvas to start with. And then you want to offset the redness with the green. Now, as I said, I haven't had a breakout in a couple of years. This was my go-to product before, but this has been hanging around in my makeup drawer for God knows how long. So I'm not going to use that because I don't want to put something that old on my face. So what I'm going to do, so you can see what color that is. What I'm going to do is take some BB cream in Bisque I'm going to mix in a matte, make sure it's not a shimmer color. I'm going to mix in a green eye pigment color, and this one's called Famous. So I'm just going to tap some of that. This is one of the samples that came in my original kit, so it looks a little different than the actual eye pigment that you would currently buy. So I've got some green sprinkled on there, and I'm just going to mix that in and make a paste. So I'm basically creating my own color concealer. It's not really enough green. Add a little bit more. And one of the things, you want to make sure that whatever you use, whatever touches your skin when you have acne, that you sanitize it, because you don't want that bacteria hanging around and then you just spread it around next go around. So I've got on my primer. I'm going to put this green that I just mixed up all over where the red is. I told y'all it's bad. I haven't had this many zits in a long time. Okay, now you want that green to stay on there, so you don't want to blend all over. So what I do, I forgot my blending bud, which is what I actually use for this. So I'm just going to take my finger and run around the edge. Kind of blend that in a little bit. Let me look in my mirror so I can see a little better. Now, if you don't have the BB cream and you don't have the primer, I would suggest that you use a lot of extra moisturizer on those spots, because you really don't want the skin to be dry. It's just going to bring even more attention to it. And actually that dry skin on top with a bunch of makeup on top of it makes it more obvious than if you hadn't done anything at all. So you can see all that green there, right? So now I'm going to take the untinted part of my BB cream and just cover up the green. And then blend that in. Sorry, I need to use my mirror here. I love my new smartphone and I'm totally addicted to it. I just broke down less than a month ago and invested in a smartphone for the first time. So I'm now out of the Stone Ages. But it does not make for a good mirror. Okay. So we've color corrected the redness, and now we've covered up the greenness with the BB cream. And now I'm going to go in with just the sponge that came with this powder. And I'm using the Mineral Touch Press powder in Chiffon. That's going to be my summer color. It's a little bit dark for me right now, but I like to pretend that I'm no longer white and pasty. So I decided just to go for it. So this pimple here is at the absolute worst stage, the hardest to cover up stage of a pimple. I meant to bring my brush out. put powder everywhere else. I'm just kind of dabbing this on. I don't want to pull on my skin too much. Okay, so it looks like I'm out of time. I have to go get my munchkin. So I've showed you the important part about the color correcting. When I get back, I'll grab my brush. I'll add a little more powder on for the coverage and show you guys a picture of the finished product. So hope this helps you, and I'm also going to talk about some more color correcting with under eye dark circles next time. So hope to see you then. Have a great day. Bye.